Namaste. A nation's economic progress depends on a lot of factors. Human capital is one of the most way a country can achieve economic progress. And the human or the population requires food. Food to grow, food to stay healthy, food to become hardworking workers. And that's where China has a dilemma or a dilemma. China is suffering from food security crisis. Well, we don't say it's a crisis because they don't have a crisis as such, but they cannot grow enough of food on their own, and they're dependent on imports, dependent on other countries for fulfilling the demand of their growing populations, and and they are working hard to achieve that food security. India and China are one of the oldest civilization of this on this planet. Like we go back 5,000 years old, both India and China. And a lot of analysts are saying that where India is now, what China used to be 30 years ago in the curve of economic progress. So the challenges of China today can become problems of India tomorrow. So in this six-part series, we are going to discuss all the different aspects which are making the China's food security dilemma, and the Chinese government is trying to work. They're trying to define methods. They're trying to design policies to mitigate these problems. And in each of these videos, I'll also explain the India's angle, how we in India can learn from what China is doing. As I said, or if I haven't said, I'm saying now that China's challenges today can be problems of India's tomorrow. So we should watch what China is doing, and we also need to learn and refine, because some of the challenges listed here will also become bigger. They're already existing in India, but they become bigger, and that can create challenge problems for India's food security, economic security, and social security too. So, in the first part of the series, we'll discuss the historical background where why Chinese leaders are aware of food security because of the historical social rebellions when famine occurred or the food scarcity becomes so much that people revolt against the government. The historical background. Then we'll discuss in the same video the arable land scarcity, which is the one of the reasons why we're discussing the food security. The second video will discuss the water scarcity and the dietary preferences. The dietary preferences is very important because it's automatically linked with the economic prosperity of any country. And in India, we're also seeing the patterns like this. And third, we'll talk about genetically modified food and the resistance against it, and also the quality issues because of which the number of imports of foreign products, food products, have increased substantially. In the fourth point, we'll talk about, I think it's one of the important point, fourth point, rural revitalization. It's completely the anti of urbanization. That's what it mean. It's like against, I should use it, the word anti-urbanization, that asking people to move back to villages. The fifth point will be climate change and food waste. I think it's obvious. The fifth video will discuss about it slightly in a Chinese context, and also how does it impact India, and especially the food waste. And the sixth will be geopolitical landscape, which is very important because it may impact China's global standing, and also explain some of the China's recent engagements across the globe, and how they are trying to safeguard their energy security, and how their recent moves or the recent agreements signed with few governments going to help in food security. So stay tuned and keep watching. I know it's a long series, but I hope you'll enjoy. So let's go. Before going further, allow me to introduce why is it a particular concern for Chinese Communist Party, the central party, and why they made this as a central theme. Like food security is a core agenda for Chinese Communist Party. So much that Mr. Xi Jinping, the Chinese premier, has mentioned it many times that food security is paramount for our nation. And it goes back to the history of China. If you are a student of Chinese history like I used to be, then you will see that famine used to cause a great social upheaval which have degraded the empire, and it has changed the leadership in China. And it did happen in like 200 years ago when Qing Empire was in power. In the at the time of after China's independence, it also happened, and it created a lot of challenges for leadership. And famine or lack of food have a potential to bring down the entire leadership or entire the current leadership of any country. So Chinese leadership is well aware of this challenge, and they're trying to do as much as possible to achieve food security, and they are taking steps. And we should also learn or think how we can think about in those problems, because we might face those in future too. As our economy continue to grow, the population continue to grow, we might face too. So let's go. We'll first talk about arable land scarcity, meaning China has less land compared to the population they have. So China has 20% of world population, but they have 10% of most arable land, like the land where they can actually grow the vegetables or the vegetables and crop on 10% land, and 6% of world's water resources. So this is it's we have at the disadvantage. And in recent years, China has rapidly urbanized. So a lot of arable land where they could actually grow the food is now heavily industrialized, or there have towns being set up. So the land area, the arable land area, has been reduced, and they are still using the old farming practices. The area has been reduced, old farming practices, and the ownership structure somehow created problems of large scale farming, and everybody is growing what they want to grow based on the profitable structure. But Chinese government is now thinking about collective farming, so that the entire area can be designated for single crop, single kind of vegetable or single kind of fruit, something like that they're trying to think. And all these problems are creating the yield of the of crop grown in China is very low compared to their peers in the Western countries or other parts of the world. So this is what the challenges they are having. We will discuss more of one of the two challenges in the upcoming points. But China has created the red line. So the Communist Party of China has set the red line, like they have put a cap of this much land is necessary. No more industrialization, no more urbanization beyond this point. So they have like put some in some areas you just can't build anything. They just put a red line. It's like the land is marked for growing crop. Or so what they are trying something to else. Now they are trying to repurposing the land. Let's say in an area where there was a farm field, then they build cities on it. They are repurposing it to grow crop again, but it's not really successful. The land has lost its fertile soil, so this is not really helping. And they are encouraging technology, because old farming practices used to had a lot of waste of water or the seed or anything. So they are encouraging technology for farmers, and they are encouraging they are trying to have farming near to cities, easy to how to say, easy to transport them, to reduce the waste, and also to grow where the people live. It just helps. And they are trying to lease land in different countries. So China has bought a huge, not bought, sorry, actually leased, not bought, leased, sorry. So China has leased a lot of land in many different countries. In I think in Europe, they try to do in Africa, in Australia. In Australia, there were a lot of protest of Chinese firm buying the land to grow things in Australia. Well, again, sorry, not buying, leasing. So they try to lease, and that's how they're trying to solve the problem of lack of arable land. So this is again making them dependent on other countries. Okay, so that's making them, and these are things they are trying to mitigate arable land scarcity. Now, when it comes to India, in India we don't have an issue like this. We have one of the most arable land in the planet, like Eastern Europe, part of America, part of Africa. We have the most arable land. Like we have so many rivers. We have our soil is very fertile. So you can grow anything in any part of India except few parts. So you can grow anything. So as such, we don't have problem of arable land scarcity. We might have problems of urbanization, or old farming practices or ownership structure or yield. But as such, we don't have arable land scarcity. However, the rapid population growth can create problems for us also in the future. So I think the better planning for towns, the better planning of the entire area is necessary, so that the farmland is remain intact. People build industries or houses in the area where there is no such harm to farmland. Thank you for watching this video, and you can watch more videos of the same series either in the link given in the descriptions. And if you like this video, please share it with others. If you want to know more about India-China relationship from the Indian perspective, or a geopolitical from Indian perspective, please subscribe to my channel. And till the next video, namaste.